Ça marche plus. Bonjour, les créateurs des séries The Missing et l'ailleurs sont de retour avec Angela Black, un thriller britannique suffocant sur fond de violence conjugale, avec dans le rôle titre la formidable actrice Joanne Froggatt que vous avez peut-être croisée dans Downton Abbey. Tous les trois reviennent sur les coulisses de leur nouvelle série bouleversante. C'est parti.
I know he seems kind, except there's this whole other side to him that no one sees.
You embarrassed me.
Hi, Joanne.
Hello, bonjour.
How did you get involved with this project with Angela Black?
Well, I'd worked with our brilliant writers, Jack and Harry, before on a show called Liar. They just sent me the script through for Angela Black, and I just totally fell in love with it. I just thought it was incredibly gripping. But underlying that was such a strong message that I just thought was incredibly important and incredibly timely because of the issues of domestic abuse being so much more prevalent in the media because of lockdown.
Your son must have pushed the door very hard.
Yeah. He doesn't know his own strength. Psychopaths, aren't they, at that age?
Did you do a lot of research, a lot of reading about what happens to victims of domestic abuse? Maybe you met with some people, staff in women's shelters?
I know I actually did a lot of research before doing the role. I read 4 books, one by Melanie B called Brutally Honest, one by Katie Piper called Beautiful, and another one called You Can't Run by Mandy Thomas. I was pointed in the right direction of that book through Women's Aid, which is a British charity who support victims of domestic violence and domestic abuse. And they were incredibly helpful to us as a show. They were on board with Jack and Harry at the early stages, helping them with script. They told me sort of certain areas to research. I spoke to some of their counsellors about their experiences on the phone lines when, you know, and other women's stories. I also watched a lot of documentaries. I just sort of immersed myself in as much as I possibly could.
I want to be better for you. I am seeing somebody for the anger.
You've said all this before. I can recite the rest for you if you want.
No.
When you write a show like this, it's obviously very important to do a lot of research. When you're writing about something like domestic abuse, you need to speak to people who work in shelters and hire consultants and read as much as you can, all of which we did, as we do for all of our shows. I think the key thing being this is something that happens a lot, but people don't always understand or read about. I think it's something that's very easy to watch shows about abuse and go, well, I'll just leave. It's not that simple, and it's a lot more insidious and subtle than that, and that's one of the things we wanted to reflect with this show.
What's the point? You don't always act the way you think you would, do you? You think you'll fight back or scream or do something. Anything, not just stand there and let it happen.
Angela and her husband are very beautiful people. They're very wealthy. They live in a very lavish house. How important was it to show this kind of social background?
It was important for us as a show to show that this can happen to anybody in any walk of life. We didn't want to do any stereotypes. We wanted to sort of break down those stereotypes with the show. So Jack and Harry, and I fully agree with this, felt it was really important that from the outside, she's living this perfect life. But, you know, you scratch the surface and actually what's going on underneath is very, very different. You know, that was a big part of our story, that we wanted to show that you never really know what's going on in someone's life. And also with, you know, our social media sort of world that we live in, we always see the shiny side of everyone's lives.
What we have, it's beautiful. But beautiful things can be flawed. We have to try, do we not?
For Olivier, we have the Dutch actor Michael Huisman. You know, he's a brilliantly charming, lovely, lovely man, which for that role is obviously an interesting choice, you know. You sort of, you don't feel there's a side to him.
When you watch Michiel in his scenes, he brings exactly what we wanted him to bring. He brings incredible charm and warmth, but also the ability to a certain sort of unknowability, which is really important for the part.
What was that for?
Because you're beautiful. Do I need any other reason?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are, yes. You are.
Do you understand why Angela tries to hold up appearances?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. I think because that's all she's got, really. People always say, oh, why don't you just leave? And people that ask that question have no understanding whatsoever of the psychology or the physicality of the situation for somebody in this domestic abuse environment. It's not only the fact that they've probably most likely been cut off from all their support system gradually over the years. You know, they feel like they have no one to turn to. Many people find themselves in a situation where they don't have financial control over the household. And also, they're terrified of this person. And it's also statistically shown that leaving an abusive relationship is the most dangerous point in the relationship, because that's when, unfortunately, you know, most murders occur or vicious, you know, sort of very vicious attacks.
But I met up with him today, and he doesn't want me to manufacture evidence against you anymore. He wants me to kill you.
Come on.
I'm being serious.
So the other day he's hiring a solicitor, now he wants me dead.
I know, but you need to listen to what I have to say.
No, you need to go before I call the police.
Wait, you think that a man who does that to you, you think that he's not capable of doing much worse?
It was a tense shoot. I mean, it was a tense shoot, but it was a very happy shoot in terms of the working environment and the team we had. And so it was a really positive, wonderful experience in terms of, you know, for an actress. But yeah, of course, you know, the story's very intense, the scenes are very intense, and we had to get ourselves to a certain level of emotion, you know. So it was, I knew it was going to be a challenging shoot, and I knew what I was taking on when I took on the role, but I just desperately wanted to do it, and I was very happy to throw myself into it for 4 months.
Did people reach out to you after the show aired, because it already aired in the UK?
I have had quite a few messages from, happens to be all women on through social media, who have been in similar situations, and said that they were just really pleased that the show was highlighting the subject matter and showing it, in their opinion, in a very honest and real light. Because, you know, as I say, first and foremost, we're a piece of entertainment, we're a drama, we're a thriller, we're not saving lives. But I think sometimes entertainment can be a really incredible way into someone's mindset that may never watch a documentary about this subject matter.
I know what you think of me. I'm just some deluded victim. You just want to ask, why don't you leave?
I think you're brave.
Fundamentally, this is a story in which you invest hugely in this character, Angela. I think, you know, more so than anything we've written, you really relate to and understand this character and want her to discover herself, what we as an audience feel so profoundly, which is to sort of rediscover what it is about her that makes her want to live her life and seek happiness for herself. And hopefully people will enjoy it. It's not always an enjoyable journey in that sense. Sometimes it's pretty difficult to watch, and but we hope it's got a cathartic emotion in that sense.
And action. Je m'appelle Anne Demoulin et je travaille pour le quotidien 20 minutes.
Je m'appelle Nico Prat et je suis journaliste pour Rockyrama.
Starstruck, c'est la rencontre improbable entre
Jessie, une jeune femme qui couche une nuit avec Tom,
un célèbre acteur, dans les toilettes d'une boîte de nuit.
Et il va se passer beaucoup de choses par la suite.
James, James Bond. Tout d'abord, je suis une fan de comédie romantique et ce que j'aime dans Starstruck, c'est que c'est une série qui aime le genre en fait et qui le prouve quasiment à chaque plan.
If, oh my god, we have sex, oh my god, it means nothing. Actually, come on. Afternoon sex is basically an errand.
Rose Matafeo, elle revendique Starstruck comme une sorte de Notting Hill inversé, c'est-à-dire où la célébrité n'est plus la femme, mais c'est désormais l'homme. Et en même temps, elle s'amuse à respecter les codes et un petit peu également à les pervertir. Et ça, j'apprécie beaucoup.
Just very proud of you.
It's not a big deal.
It is. It's like fan fiction, but it's real. It's like fan non-fiction.
Okay, well, I'm not a fan, so...
Well, it sounds like you were a fan.
Of his day.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. Une chose que j'ai un petit peu regrettée en regardant les 6 épisodes, c'est vrai que Rose Matafeo, donc, c'est une star du stand-up en Nouvelle-Zélande. Certains de ses sketchs, en tout cas, sont bien plus, en anglais ils disent racy, en tout cas plus crus. Et c'est vrai que cette partie-là, dans la série, même s'il en est question, c'est parfois un petit peu plus... presque un petit peu trop timide, j'ai trouvé.
Il me semble quand même qu'elle ose des choses qu'on ne voit pas ailleurs. Je pense notamment, par exemple, à une scène avec Tom, qui se retrouve donc à discuter avant un potentiel rapport sexuel, et elle est un peu gênée parce qu'elle a ses règles. Et il lui répond de façon très drôle, « Écoute, je suis un homme adulte, je suis capable d'avoir des relations sexuelles avec une femme qui a ses règles. »
I got my period this afternoon.
For the first time?
Yeah. That's very funny. It actually made me laugh.
Moi, ce qui me plaît particulièrement dans Starstruck, c'est le personnage de Rose Matafeo, qui est donc l'actrice principale, également la créatrice. C'est un personnage qui lui ressemble, c'est un personnage extrêmement léger, volubile et en même temps vraiment moderne, c'est-à-dire qui se pose des questions que se pose une jeune trentenaire aujourd'hui.
Je trouve que la force de Rose Matafeo, c'est notamment son interprétation. En fait, c'est une comédienne qui est issue du stand-up et on sent qu'elle a fait ses classes sur scène et elle a un sens du timing, du comique qui est absolument irrésistible.
You had sex.
Yeah, boy! Woo! C'est une série qui, sans renouveler complètement le genre de la comédie romantique, puisque en fait ça, on respecte vraiment les codes et les règles, ça le modernise un peu en présentant une héroïne qui est, voilà, qui n'est pas dans les canons de beauté habituels des comédies romantiques, et ça c'est déjà un grand pas en avant.
On n'est pas du tout dans le profil de la Bridget Jones, de sa culotte de cheval, de ses grosses cuisses. C'est même pas un sujet. De la même façon que Tom, donc la star de cinéma, est issu de la communauté indienne, ce qui n'est absolument pas mentionné nulle part, parce que c'est une série qui ne voit aucun intérêt à parler de choses qui ne sont pas importantes et qui, il y a peut-être encore une dizaine d'années, auraient donné lieu à du comique de situation, et là, c'est pas du tout le cas.
Starstruck, c'est un Notting Hill 2.0.
Starstruck, c'est romantique et moderne.
Oh. That's fine. Yeah.
Est-ce que vous avez une série, Madeleine?
Alors la série, c'est mon enfance. Alors ils n'ont jamais retrouvé une série dont j'avais parlé qui s'appelait Les Hommes volants. Ça passait le dimanche. Avant la séquence du spectateur, c'était des parachutistes, c'était génial. Et évidemment, ce que je regardais tout le temps, c'était Steve McQueen dans Joss Randall, Au nom de la loi. Qui ne sait pas Joss Randall, Steve McQueen, t'imagines, c'est carrément le héros parfait, quoi. Le justicier, beau comme un dieu, tout le monde a envie de lui ressembler. J'avais le truc en plastique, la carabine et tout. Non, c'était génial.
À la semaine prochaine pour encore plus de séries. Ciao!